Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with our glorious little legendary base. This is the state of affairs on our legendary base, and there are so many things. Like, obviously, I really want to get into this part so we can get a lot of the basically electric engines, because it enables robots, which is nice, and also it enables us to make all the spaceship parts legendary. But since we're not going to be doing spaceship parts right now, and what we really want to do is make sure that our base here on Volcano is even better, then what I want to do is I want to make these bad boys, and I only have two of them. Legendary foundries. Legendary foundries require steel, not a problem. Electronic circuits, not a problem. The refined concrete, not a problem. They got those last time. And then, tungsten carbide. Well. Okay, so tungsten carbide is definitely going to be our issue. So we're going to be upscaling tungsten carbide and tungsten today. That is what we want to do. Get that in legendary format. There's been a lot of people actually asking me on Twitch streams, like, hey, where's the video on tungsten? And I'm like, it's coming. Here it is. So tungsten carbide is made from carbon and from tungsten ore. The carbon can actually be made from the coal, so we could sort of get that legendary from here. But what I actually want to do is I want to do like the basic version, because the basic version is fine. Like, this is about different strategies for upcycling, because it is. I've been doing a lot of math lately and having a community help me with the math on this. There are some really cool tricks that you can do. Let's sort of look at it in a very basic way. Let's say that you have a ton of tungsten carbide. There, 28,000. That's an interesting point, this one, the 105,000, whatever. We'll get rid of that. Or let's say this one, tungsten plate. We have 19,000 tungsten plate. If I simply take the 19,000 tungsten plates and put it into here, and then put the best modules in, and then just let it flow through, and then anything that's not legendary, just put it back. Then I need, hold on, 2,726 of the basic, the normal version for every one legendary. That is absolutely atrocious. So we want to do everything we can to get that ratio to become better. The way we do that is by sort of doing an intermediate step. For example, when it comes to tungsten carbide, what if we could also get like a step called, what was it I wanted? Tungsten carbide. Yes, that one. What if we could also get a step here? That means I get two rolls of the dice, and they're both 24.8%. So that's pretty good, right? So we could either, now the question would be, so should I get coal, which can also be made in a miner, which can also get the productivity. So already we got a little bit of productivity here. Then we can upscale that to a certain degree, and then we can take the upscaled one and then go in here, and then we can take whatever you have here and go back. So the best case would be, in this case, make carbon in all sorts of ratios, and then the tungsten ore in all sorts of ratios, although they kind of then need to be mixed together, so that's a little unfortunate. And then of course sulfuric acid, then we can recycle it again and again and again to get this. So that makes it better. Like, the more steps you have, the more chances you get to do this, the better. For example, this is another thing that I didn't see and was pointed out to me, yelled at me many times in chat until I finally understood it. Here's the thing: if I want to upcycle uranium-235, then if I just put uranium-235 in here, then I don't get a good ratio. But if I could put it in here, make the normal ones, deconstruct, make the uncommon ones, deconstruct, make the rare ones, deconstruct, like keep deconstructing it, then I can get it much better. However, that would require processing units and explosives at the various intermediate steps as well. Of course, we do that from the deconstruction, but that's something we want to keep in mind, that we can actually use. If we can find a production step that doesn't involve too many extra things, then it gets a lot better. So that is what we can do actually for the tungsten. So we're going to be doing two cases. We're going to be doing like the basic case where we just do recycling of ore until we get the legendary, because then we can combine it and with the legendary carbon, and it's all happy. Or the other one, which will be we're going to be looking at what is the best recipe to get. Let me just find my way through this. There we go. What is the best recipe that uses tungsten that is easy to make? That's the one. Express underground belts, 40 tungsten plates, super fast construction time, and only one single other product, and then we can do that. So we're going to do the both things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be setting up a recycler, the bad recycler one, where we just want to get coal, because you can't get carbon, and tungsten ore reprocessing. So we have luckily 2 locations up here. One will be set up for tungsten plate, and one will be set up for tungsten ore into carbide. And since we have coal here, then that one will be for the carbide. So let's start with that one. So the first thing we want to do now that we have this part here, it's not actually getting all of it, but we'll get all of its all these products, these quality modules. We need a lot of quality modules for these builds. So the first thing we want to do is make some kind of processor that actually can process all of this. And I'm kind of having an idea that says something like this. And let's see, that's not even close enough, so I need to get that one a little bit out. And these 4 here. So that will be normal processing like that. And on this side, I will have the processing of a little bit advanced stuff. And then that, and then it will be here. Oops. And there we go. So then we get all the stuff, the advanced stuff in here. And these are going out on the outside. What about legendaries? Shouldn't I also have legendaries? I guess so. Because I could get legendaries. Yeah. I mean, it's such a rare occurrence that I get every legendary. But hey, let's cater for it. So what this means is that I need some kind of way that I can get 2 belts in here. And most of it goes in there to be processed, and the other stuff, the none, we'll do it like that. This goes in here. Might actually be having to do a little bit more because I'm getting 2 belts in here. Let's see, what is the speed of this? We can't really see that when it's not really full, but it's going to be 230. Okay, 200. So it's a little more than 1 belt. It'll end up being, or maybe it'll be just around 1 belt. Okay, well, if that's the case, then this is actually fine. And then I need some kind of way to say, okay, when you're coming in here, then you need to take only the rare stuff in here, and then that continues, and then I get like only the, oh sorry, not the rare, first the uncommon, then the rare, then that, and then finally here, and finally the legendary, which obviously should just be the remainder at this point. Okay, but I do think I need to have a buffer for this because I don't know if I have enough. Like, I can never really know if I have enough. So I'm going to do this kind for a buffer, and then I kind of think that I need to also do the same thing on the other side here. That and that. Oh, hold on. That doesn't work because either I filter it out or I don't. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have to filter it out like this. There we go. Something like this. Let's see how that works. So this is the first step, just piecing it together. I think that it'll work. It'll come out as 1 belt of tungsten, fully modularized and beaconized and all that stuff. And then we'll just flow it in here. We're getting this, the iron, molten iron from a little bit of location here. How fast is this? 22. Oh, 35. That's not very fast, is it? Oof, that is really not fast. Really want more beacons, don't we? Oops. Yeah, I think we want more beacons on this side because that's just not cutting it. Nope. Well, I think we need... Actually, I think the answer is that we need legendary beacons and legendary modules for this. But I don't think we have that yet, do we? No, we do not. Nope, but that's kind of what we need. So anyway, we'll get this and then we'll scale it up. Not a damn thing on the other side. Because we did not get that one inbound. There we go. That was a little bit of a gap there. There we go. And that should get also some of the other ones, a little bit of the other ones coming in. Good. All right. What is the next thing? The next thing, I suppose, is that we need to get this tungsten into a build of the tungsten plates. Oh, hold on. No, this is not it. This is actually just where we need to just scale it or just delete it. So I want to have a... Why am I doing tungsten plates here? I confused myself. Yeah, this is not what I wanted. I wanted that to be up here, but I wanted this to be carbide. All right, well, never mind. We have this build now. I'm gonna actually move it up here. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda here is, now I just moved it over here. We're still building the remainder. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do something that on the surface looks really silly, and below the surface probably also looks silly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a lot of these here, 4 of them, and then that will be making epic tungsten turbo underground belt. Yes, but the other ones will be... Oh, that doesn't work. Ah, man. Like the idea that I can't change here the quality and then it retains the recipe would be... That was something I'm really missing. And that will just be the normal one. There we go. So we get normal, uncommon, next. Good. All right. What happens then? Well, I need to get the stuff inbound for this. And that means there's 2 inbound ingredients, aside from the lubricant, which we'll get in somehow, is the tungsten plate and the express. So I need to get tungsten plate in here. And I need to get the other one, that's the express belt, in here as well. There. And then I'm pretty sure that I need some kind of storage. Because, yeah, I do. And I do that one. And then it sort of moves up into the next, which will then be similar. Then I need to get my lubricant in here. Like that. And then I need to be able to get stuff outbound on the other side. Just a simple thing. So what do we get outbound? We get, if we get the quality on each of these, we get either the same quality that we put in or a higher quality coming out. And that means almost no matter what. Almost no matter what, yes. If it is a legendary stuff, then export it. If it's not legendary... Oh, hold on. Is that actually correct? Because that's legendary. Do I really want to keep legendary... right. Let's think about it. Okay, and then I need to do that. Here, I think 4 of them will be probably enough. Yeah. And they go in here. And then what we get outbound here is then either tungsten, or we will get tungsten and we get express underground belts. So the express underground belts are going to be recirculated. The tungsten belts are going to be recirculated. The only thing that we take out is the stuff that's legendary. And I don't really think I want legendary underground. Yeah. I'm just thinking a legendary underground belts should also be recirculated, because legendary underground belts, becomes legendary red underground, become legendary yellow underground, become yellow. Ah, man. Let's just ditch everything here. And then focus on the only thing we keep is that. Everything else just recirculates into nothing. Okay, so we're going to get 2 items out here. That means we are going to be figuring out... yeah, let's get this a little bit further backwards here. This will be our box, and I'm going to start by making it just a steel box so we can see how many we actually get. This will be sort of a split between, I guess, tungsten of all qualities, which is now in here. Tungsten of all qualities there. And then like that. Oh yes, that's perfect. And this will go over to that part. So I get the tungsten, and on the side, this pure tungsten, not pure, but various. Ooh, I kind of think it would be better to do this. I don't think it is, but I don't know. I think we'll do productivity. Yeah, because it's more, this step is more valuable. Okay, so what I'm getting here is just basically getting Sinus. And what is this belt going to do? This belt is going to be just making blue underground belts. So blue underground belts there comes from red underground belts. There comes from yellow underground belts. But this is, remember, this is only on normal quality. I don't need to make it for everything because the input for this, the uncommon express underground belt, is the stuff that I've already been recycling and coming back with. So this should be a reasonable way to get this. It's very simple. And we just need a lot of iron inbound, a lot of gears inbound. So that shouldn't be too bad. So we're kind of starting it up a little bit premature maybe, because I haven't even sort of built all of this chain here. And that chain is in here. And let's see if that works. You're not getting anything. Oh, because the whole thing is lubricant stuff. Ah, I forgot that I have forgotten to do. I forgot that I forgot to do lubricant. All right. Well, lubricant is pretty easy. We can just get it. We can get it sort of from. Does this actually? Oh, that's not electric engines. Ah, right. I don't have electric engines. Anyway, we just need a little bit of coal and then make it. All right, we got our lubricant inbound, and what happens? Hey, we're getting a little bit of this. It is not fast. Yeah. So no matter what I do, I can't really get it faster than this. I do have a lot of this. Well, you know, maybe I could actually get it a little bit faster. What if I don't know. It's pretty quick. And let's just accept this speed here. It can be quicker once we actually get some legendary things, but that's the whole point of all of this. This is about getting the next step. So let's also fix all of this. So what I've done is loop it around, go all the way back, and then I think it's ready for us to actually get this in. There we go. And in this part here should be just legendary inputs, right? So if we get any legendary inputs, or if we get any inputs, then that should be fine. This one, I mean, as many beacons as we can squeeze in at this point, I guess that's what we want. Yeah. So get something inbound here, and I want to make sure that the inbound is coming from there, that side. So the recycle comes back. Let's have a look at it, what happens. So the first one just working, but it's a little bit too slow here. Maybe we can do something about this by getting legendaries or getting stack inserters. It looks better, but still not very good. I'd actually really like to get more of this, and I guess the best way of doing that would be something like this. Just to make sure that we are getting as much as possible in here. Yes, there we go, much better. This will be trying to upscale. You can see that comes in, it gets out. Okay, we got starting to get a lot more interesting, and then I kind of want to split them on either side so that it doesn't jam. Yeah. Now that's actually doesn't feel like it's kind of the wrong way, because I would want all of this to be on only on one side as well, which I think is possible. There. And then I don't put the balancer out afterwards. Right? That only comes out on one side, but it's the balanced input. Yes, but then I'd want to do the other side. There. Yes, so that comes in on the same side as everything else on the other side, and looking good. These should be working most of the time. Oh, look at that, we're actually getting 25. Yeah, because when we get it, we actually get one of these is 40, so we will get 10 for every if it procs a legendary, then we'll get 10. So that's pretty good, pretty good. It works. Is this fast enough? Not really. I guess maybe it is better to just do speed module on this, if we can keep up. This is fast enough. Yeah, these are just idling. Yeah, it's idling. And okay, we also need a little bit of speed module here. And we don't have the legendary modules yet, but we do have this part. Okay, we just smash as much as we can. This one has to go as fast as it can. There we go. It looks much better. And that's the one that keeps feeding it. And we actually have tungsten carbide, or tungsten plates now. So tungsten plates are done. We don't have the tungsten carbide, but that's kind of easier, but also worse. This is a pretty good build because we get it pretty quickly. When we're done with the whole thing, we're going to just look at it and see what the speed it's building at, just to get a sense of it. So this is all the speed we can get with the productivity and all that stuff we have. I don't know. Maybe I could just add more beacons here. I do want to get better beacons and better foundries. All right, but we'll leave it here and then go back to the other one. This one. This is now going to be focused on tungsten carbide instead, which means that we are just going to scale up this part. This means we need a new upscaler. And there and there. This is not great, but I do think, let's figure out how much we're actually getting outbound. We're getting 222. Okay, so it's going to be less than a full belt. So we need some kind of balancer. Let me try to show a balancer that I think maybe could be working to take a full belt out. Whew. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to get things in. And before I do anything else, I want to filter out. I'm just going to explain the process here. I'm going to filter out anything that is higher quality, and that should go on. Then this will be the inbound from our recycler, and we'll get a recycler here. That's going to be a recycler. Let's get it as close as we can. This is where we get to do the upcycling. Goes in, and then moves on here, and goes up. Okay, maybe this is too close. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? Yeah. I think that's what I want here. So what I'm doing now is whatever comes out circulates back, and these go up to 4. Upwards, downwards. Merge on this one, and like that. Kind of looks a little bit off like that. Then let's just do this. All right, and maybe we can do it like this. And you're gonna go in. Oh no, this is not actually it. This is not actually it. Because this will be only the normal stuff. And the normal stuff is going to be... It's about dealing with large quantities. So I'm actually going to do this part. This is really silly when you have something that potentially could stack outbound. But this will make sure that the normal comes out stacked. The not normal comes out unstacked. Because I can't use a stack inserter on all the other ones, because then it procs a legendary, and then the stack inserter gets stuck on the legendary, and then it'll be stuck forever and ever and ever. So this is how we're going to do it for this part. Alright, and then let's see this one. I think this has to be the branch out. There we go. Okay, and then now we get it inbound. Hope that's enough. There will only be normal, right? Because anything that's not normal has already been filtered out. Good. And there. Let me just try. Okay, so this could also be not normal, right? This could also be, like, the stuff that comes out here could also be greater than normal. So I do kind of feel that this has to be branched out again. What about we just do it in the other side? There. Because then that works. Here. And then this will now be only normal, only uncommon and above that goes on. Great. Which will then need to branch out to First we need to be able to handle it back in. This doesn't need the output because this is a lot smaller, but that's just kind of think that we need 4. 4? Let's think about that. And like this. The only thing that could be there... Oh, I don't like this being a non-balanced build. Reason is then it kind of always will be stuck with a legendary somewhere. There, that's that poor man's balancer. There we go. Poor man's balancer, it is there, and then we did that again. We can use a little bit more space. It's a weird design, I know. And yeah, I kind of just want legendaries now. If there's a legendary, that's the only thing that we take out. And then we take it out in a box. Alright, well, this sucks. It does. Don't care about that, I guess. The better way of doing this is actually to do a filter on there so that nothing gets filtered out. Okay, I think this can handle a full belt. Let's see. And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Otherwise we'll do tweaks and turns. So everything starts out by going in here. And then there might be something that needs to be a little bit bigger. I don't know if this is big enough. This could be over time not fast enough. So that's a problem. We are not processing fast enough here. These 8 are simply not processing fast enough. Is it... I don't know what it is, but they're just not processing fast enough. So I guess we need 10. Slightly different design implemented, and let's see if that works. The idea is just flattening it so it doesn't sort of go out of these. And we are... Ah, that sucks. We don't want these to go without having the modules in. Come on, get the modules in. There we go. Okay, which means that it could be a little bit stuck. Let's see if it can stabilize. So everything that goes in here, and I want to make sure that the stuff that comes in from the recirculation takes higher priority. Right now we have a little bit of excess in here. I think we can see that this disappears over time. Ooh, how I don't like that it's one higher up. That looks ugly. Oh yeah, it does. I think this is better. And then put some lights in and then be happy about it. Oh, that one's misplaced. Are there other ones that are misplaced? No, none other ones that are misplaced. This one, fine. Okay, this looks like it's actually a little bit overwhelming. Huh. No, I think it stabilizes. It should stabilize. Like, it's losing 75% on this loop here, so it should be stabilizing. Anyway, we're also getting a little bit of this, not amazing amount, but a little bit. And this looks stable now. It's less problematic. We can see that the stuff at the end is getting removed. Good. So that's stable. This one is almost. So I do need a little bit more for this part here. If I look at it, like, they're all spinning as fast as they can. So, two more. Yeah, this looks much better. It gets to the end, but it doesn't seem to be overstacking the end here. I have to have something here that isn't fully operational. This is close to fully operational, but not quite. And since most of it comes out stacked, then it can reach pretty far. And this is also coming in close to stacked. So we now have a design that we can set down for one line, and then that will be processing. It looks to be okay. It does actually look a little overwhelmed over here. This is kind of crazy that it's overwhelmed on the rarer components. All right, this is good. Of course, it's going to be better once I have the legendary versions of it, but not just yet. We're still working on all them legendary items, but we wanted to get this one done. So basically what I do now, I do the same thing for copper, or for coal, because we can just mine it coal here, and then we have coal and carbon, coal and the tungsten in that. So what is it we want to do then? Then we can see we can actually make this one, and then we can jam in 8 of this. That means we're now getting more carbon out than we put coal in. That's pretty good. And we have sulfur. We got that sulfur somewhere else. And this is producing 1 point something. And then it has to go into a box here that makes tungsten carbide. That's an easy one. Also max productivity. This consumes 0.7879. This is producing more than 0.79. And because why not, we can just throw a module on this, and then we are guaranteed that we are definitely consuming more. And of course this will also be legendary, and this will be legendary. And yes, I know I could actually make it. Oh man, they don't retain the recipes. I know I could get this from orbit, but I actually like this one because I have it nearby. But then there's sulfur inbound. That's this goes in, and then if yeah, you basically take it from this line and in here. So we kind of built the framework here. We're going to start by hooking up the coal. This will now go all the way through. And this is just, you know, a little bit of junk coal that we can just process. I will then also, because why not, since we have it, just request 500 of those. And I'm also going to request that down here, which isn't really happening, but that will allow us to do these kind of things. And actually now I realize that I probably want that here, because eventually I want a lot of boxes of those glorious things. There we go, and it's processed. We now have the very first little bits of this. We're missing, of course, this part, but we're also getting this one in. I'm going to be trashing anything unrequested, which means that right now, first we're going to be pulling in from the stuff we get from orbit and from our pirate fleet, but then later on we're going to be pushing it out. You can see this is not fast enough, but as soon as we get the legendary quality here, which we can now make, but we haven't been bothered to do it, then it'll be fast enough to keep up. You can see that both of them are a little bit struggling to keep processing this part. We could just throw in one or two more, then it would be fine. But I think I want to just wait for it to get better by having better items. All right, this part, is that fast enough? 212, so not quite fast enough, but I think it could be fast enough if I sort of squeezed it a little bit with some of these ones. Each of these adding a little bit more, 224, yeah, so it's probably fast enough. It's ish. And there we go. What do we have? So that's now stuck, and that's now stuck. Okay, so right now it's constrained, and this one is the productivity is 100%. So with the productivity 100%, that means 3.7 in is 30.7 in, so one in, one out. And we have to look at the processing here, and let's look at the processing stats, then look at tungsten, because that's the stuff we've been using today. Let's look at legendary. There we go. Why are we not producing any legendary tungsten plate? Oh, I don't even dare look at it. It's jammed, right? It's freaking jammed. Okay, so we built too much. That's interesting. And by interesting, I mean annoying. We have to figure out what happened. So what happened is this one got full. Oops. Yeah. I think it might be better to actually have this being transported on a belt base like this. Oops, that should probably have been built out like this. Yeah, I think so. because then it comes in, or basically it would have to come in and then be a little bit mindful that it doesn't overfill this. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, I got a funny idea with this, and I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. And that is, I want all qualities of blue, all qualities of red underground. I want all qualities of yellow underground. I want all qualities of yellow that underground. Okay. And then yeah, that's a problem. All qualities of gears. Funny how, yeah. And that thing. There we go. And then the last one will be all qualities of tungsten. Here. Which will now go out on this belt. And by that method, we will now have a mixed belt. Nope. Then we'll have a mixed belt. That's what I wanted to do. Cool. There we go. This is now working better again. Just filtering it out. And we're going to see that this probably... Oh, I really feel that this should be emptying. Okay, we got some legendaries. They have to sort of filter all the way around. It is a little bit weird what happens here. And... why is this stuck? I think it's a mistake. Yeah, it cut... Okay, you're not getting anything because you're not getting anything. Okay, so this is kind of the issue, that we're getting way too many of one part compared to the other parts. Yeah, and then it would be nice if this would work so that it could get the next one. This is awful, right? This is really an awful build, right? Yeah, because I do think that we have the potential for it, because we do have a lot of this. So if I could just deconstruct a lot of these, then it would be fine. Then I would get the higher quality ones. Like, it feels like there should be a balance to it, but I'm also kind of suspecting that we are going to get a way too much uncommon version, which is exactly what we see here. Yeah, so I built a little deleter here, or which will also just kind of upcycle things, and maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work, but we might just get a lot more of these. But I'm just requesting all this. I think it kind of works here, and this is kind of working. Does it accrue something? It does accrue a little bit of iron in here, but that's okay. I could also just do legendary iron on this belt here. These ones. It'll be such a small thing that we just get rid of, but I can't really get it anywhere else. There, and that will just go through and get reprocessed. You can see here, just reprocessed. Not really a great idea, but then it just disappears. Cool. Our main issues with this one is mainly the fact that we don't get enough normal quality inbound. Is actually a little bit surprising how we're not getting that in. We should be getting it, but it's just too slow. So anyway, it's I think it's working. It's not great, to be perfectly honest, but I think it's actually doable. It is working. It's processing things, and I do think I want to just empty that because I just want to get rid of it. Let's dare and go back to the other one and see if that one's also jammed or if it's working. It is working. Of course, it's a little bit stuck here, but no, actually it's keeping up pretty well. And how much have we built in the meantime? We have, and let's see, in our legendary. Okay, we got 5 of that. That seems a little bit weird, but we have 256 of that. That's well, that is exactly 5 of these. That's not a lot, but we get them. We are gonna get them now. As long as this one is chugging along, then we're gonna get it, and we'll get legendary things here. Legendary. These ones will also be upgraded to legendaries so that they don't really consume anything from the belt. So that is gonna be what we do today. We have now upcycled legendary carbon and legendary tungsten and legendary tungsten plates that we use for later things. That means we can go back to our little overlay here and change this one to a check mark. Wow, that was a lot of work to get that check mark done. But the great thing is we now have foundries, and foundries can be made. It enables a lot of things, particularly foundries and big mining drills. Also, speed modules should be coming in easier, and then quantum processors later on. But that's down the line. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This little bit of an experimental episode where we just kind of try to do some designs together. So until next time, take care, and of course, stay effective.